Welcome to the Spotlight Omaha podcast. Here is your host, Jimmy Allen.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome inside the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm who specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your business online. If your business could benefit from any of that, check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Joining me inside the Pyramid Contractor Studios, Curtis Norton with Leapatricks Carpet Cleaning. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, we've tried doing this a couple times. I'm glad we were able to get this finally figured out, but obviously that means you've been busy. Why is carpet cleaning such a busy business this time of year?
It's busy because everybody wants to get in before the holidays. So it's kind of the sweet spot of the cleaning world until the snow flies. So
Sure.
yeah.
Talk to me about that, because I think the one thing that we talk about consistently in this room is about busy times for people. If the holidays is the busy time, when is the slow time and why?
Anytime there's snow or super cold, so January, February tends to slow down on the carpet cleaning side. The house cleaning side of the business doesn't typically slow down, but it does pick up for the holidays. It also picks up once the kids go to school or get home from school. It tends to pick up as well.
Is that because, and obviously you can't read minds, but in your opinion, is it because people are looking at the snow outside and saying, it's not going to be clean if I clean it now type thing?
Yeah, they're thinking I'm just going to track it back in. I might as well wait till the spring.
I want to talk about the business itself, because it's an interesting dynamic. You take the business over from your father, who's been in business since 1990, but you put your own little spin on it. Why was it the right idea to follow in your dad's footsteps? How do you have your fingerprints on it versus the way he ran things?
I always kind of knew I was going to take it over. Me and my brother are about a year apart, and we always worked for him growing up. Since I was just a little kid, and the summers when we were in college or when I was out playing hockey, playing juniors, and I just always liked it. It's a good service. It's hard work, but it's not super intensive hard work. It's just.
I hope your wife's not listening to this.
The house cleaning side's hard.
There you go. Yeah,
that's way more intensive.
Sure.
But I just wanted to keep the family name going. It was a big part of my parents' lives, and I've just always had that goal in mind.
It's so interesting to talk about multi-generation business owners, because it feels like it's a hard one way or the other. They want to completely separate from the way their parents or their grandparents did things, or they want to take your approach to where Leapatrick is a combination of your parents' name. Why was it such a big deal for you? Put your mom and your father's name on the business and have it forefront of everything.
I was just blessed to have great parents. I know that not everybody gets that.
Sure.
My parents were mom and dad to a lot of my friends growing up, basically, and I was just an ode to them to keep the name. So my mom's Leanne and my dad's Patrick, and that's where the Leapatricks came out. And that's what when my dad had it, that's when it was named. So I just wanted to keep that for name recognition as well. But like I said, a huge ode to my parents, because they've been great.
So how does Curtis's fingerprints fit on the business now, opposed to how Patrick ran things?
It's pretty similar. So my dad was my first hire once I got up and going, and got.
Were you
really
surprised
busy.
he said yes?
No.
Okay.
He wanted from day one.
Sure.
So
was it hard to keep him out?
Extremely, but his knowledge of doing it for 30 years is just untangible.
There's probably some value in there for that.
Yeah, it is almost too much of a value sometimes. Like, Dad, you can take the day off. It's okay. But me and him work well together. I know that's not always the case.
It's important though.
Yeah, it's very, very important. He knows that I can do a few things differently. He knows that stuff is ran differently now with technology. He was in the phone books.
Sure.
Back in the day.
Kids ask your parents what a phone book was.
Yeah, but they didn't have. I remember my dad having like a first cell phone in 1994 with it was a bag.
The brick?
Before that, like a bag.
Oh wow, okay.
So lots changed since then, and I think that's kind of why he wanted to get out of the business, was just not knowing fully how to deal with Facebook and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. We kind of jokingly talked about Pixel Fire Marketing before this, and obviously they're a big part of the reason this show goes, but it's a big part of everybody's business, right? Yeah. It is technology and being present everywhere all at the same time, which is somehow possible in 2024. But when we talk about growth and the way the business has grown from 1990, what's something that your dad's told you about the business that's different today than back when he opened up the doors almost 3 decades ago?
We've kept the same kind of customer service. My dad, if any of you know him, he's one of the nicest guys, and he just always goes out of his way to have the best customer service of all time. But yeah, I mean, Facebook and social media in general has completely changed the way people run businesses. I don't know if anybody follows my Facebook, but I try to add a little bit of a personality to it.
They're tagged, by the way.
Yeah.
Follow Leapatricks Carpet and House
Trying to
Cleaning
get to 800 by the end of the year, so this should help.
We'll see if we can help out.
But I try to
all 247 of you watching right now, go follow and click.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that social media has just completely changed, and I think for the better for small businesses, because they can actually put themselves out there.
Absolutely.
Kind of like with I worked at Round the Bend Steakhouse. I was executive chef out there for a long time, and
how many testicles do you think you cooked?
I've cooked a ton of testicles.
Things I never thought I would ask on this podcast. Sorry, keep going.
probably with the Testicle Fest, thousands and thousands.
Oh, I'm sure.
But he during COVID, we had to let go of some stuff, and the first thing that we let go of was who was running our Facebook. And I said, TJ, just put your face out there. People just want to see you, and it's like the Food Network. Make your own little food network, and that's what we did in COVID. It was a huge success at Around the Bend. Still is. His Facebook's super funny too, and
we'll allow that free plug. It's fine.
Yeah,
right.
TJ,
we'd love to have you in sometime. Sorry, go ahead.
But that's what I try to bring to my Facebook and social media. And
do you enjoy it?
It helps. Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. It's
I think for business owners, like for a lot of people, I think they're so afraid. There's a lot of people that want to franchise or grow the business and not have their face be the representation of the business. But I think especially in your line of work, where a lot of times you're the person showing up at the house or at the business, it's kind of nice to know that the guy that running the show is the guy walking the door too.
Yeah, exactly. People want to know who's coming into their house for the most part, and I think that's why people tend to try to go local as much as possible, because they know that they know who's coming into their house, and that's very important with house cleaning and carpet cleaning.
One of my favorite questions to ask on here, and it like I told you beforehand, this is episode number 306. And I think the answer has been almost different from every single person that's been in here. To me, the way that I've been able to do business in Omaha and the way I've seen a lot of business done, it seems like you got to earn it here. And there's and you mentioned it with being local. Do you feel like when you took this over from your father, or even in some experiences your dad has had, that when the business first started, or when you first started taking it over, there was a little bit of I'll give you my business, but to earn it twice, you got to earn it a little bit. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, it depends on the person. I think they want to see what you're made of, and they'll give you a chance in the beginning, and you really got to win them over. But when you do, I feel like you win them over for life. So
Good point.
Yeah. So it might be hard the first time, but once they turn to that regular customer, you got to keep working hard for them and keep them. My dad had 7,000 regular customers when he left the business, and just seeing that customer list is wild. So
it's interesting that you guys are listed as Leapatricks Carpet and House Cleaning.
Yep.
What's the difference between those two parts of the business, and why is it important to put that in the name?
So the reason I did that was for people that tag us on Facebook or on Nextdoor or whatever. When they tag a carpet cleaning company for someone that asks for house cleaning, I don't want
confusing.
To get, so that's why I decided to change that on the social media pages. Is just so they know that we are a house cleaning company as well. And that's one thing my dad did not do. And for some reason, I don't even know why I added it, but I just told my dad, I did one move out cleaning for my friend while I did his carpet cleaning right at the beginning. And I'm like, God, this is great.
Yeah.
So we just kept doing it, and they go hand in hand. I don't think he hated it. He just didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Sure.
He said
he's listening. Pat, I did not tell him to say that.
No, he admits it. I didn't know what I was doing either. But we learned, and there's a bunch of little tricks that the house cleaners use, and we've definitely learned and grasped all that. And I mean, house cleaning's been huge for us.
We're catching up with Curtis Norton of Leapatrick's Carpet Cleaning and Housekeeping here. And House Cleaning, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractors studio. I want to talk about growth for a minute, because I think a lot of people, we've had several conversations, I just mentioned a minute ago, with people in this room about growth and expanding and possibly franchising out their company and things like that. in the short minutes we've been talking here, it doesn't seem like that's something you'd be interested in. What does growth look like for Leapatricks over the next 5 to 10 years?
Over the next 5 to 10 years, I'd like to add another van or so. Right now, we have a house cleaning crew and a carpet cleaning crew, and then we kind of overlap each other. I don't want to get too big. I want to stay, where I can go to some of the jobs still on the day to day and still be cleaning. But next summer we are going to have to. We're kind of at that.
Congratulations!
Thank you, man. We're kind of at that. We're full.
Yeah.
Point, and we need to start thinking about adding another van and stuff like that. The franchising thing, my dad owned a carpet cleaning franchise, so if my brand can make that work and we can franchise in 5 to 10 years, I mean that would be huge. I mean I think it's very franchisable.
I have to ask because like a lot of people that come in this room are very type A personalities and have a hard time taking their hand off the wheel and expand to somebody else. You keep saying I. Is it difficult for you to hand this off to somebody else, hire an employee to come in? Obviously, your dad's your employee, but to hire somebody that isn't exactly a part of the Norton family and trust that to somebody else? Yeah,
it'll be tough. It'll be tough for me, I'm sure. I want to make sure that we are always doing our best, and that's difficult once you get employees. I mean, no one's more invested into your business than yourself. But it is important to be able to delegate, and I learned that at Around the Bend I was in charge of 70 employees out there.
Still tough for you? For you to delegate?
No, I've learned to do it. I've got 2 other employees, Patrick and Adrian, and they do a stellar job.
Sure.
I've known Patrick since I was 16. Adrian's daughter, I worked with at Around the Bend forever for 10 years. So I only hire people that I know, and I'm going to do that as long as I possibly can.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're in the kitchen. You're cooking up testicles. You're doing your thing. When was the jumping off point for you to say, I need to take over what my dad built, and why was it the right time to do it?
When my third child, Parker, was born,
shout out to Parker.
Parker. he's a great third kid, and Giada and Camden and my wife Bree. But when he was born, me and my wife, we just couldn't do the restaurant hours anymore. That's basically that's basically
it's a totally different lifestyle.
Yeah. So this is I work a decent amount now, but I'm home by 2, 3, 4 every night. I don't work very many Sundays. I don't work very many overnight at all.
Yeah.
So it's just that was the reason, to be home for the family.
Sure.
And then in doing this, we've been blessed for my wife to be able to come home and homeschool our kids, and that's been a goal of ours since we had Giada 7 years ago.
Sure.
So to be able to do that, and that was not possible at the restaurant.
What's the biggest difference between running a kitchen and running a cleaning company?
There's a lot of cleaning in the kitchens.
Sure, that's the reason I asked. Yeah,
it translates pretty well, and the pace of a cleaning is certainly slower at a house, or carpet cleaning is certainly slower at a house. You don't want to rush through it when you're getting tickets on
gotta hustle.
Yeah, you got to get that food out. So you only got a certain amount of time to get food out, and people tend to get angry when they're waiting for their food.
How much cooking do you do in your spare time now?
Me and my wife are pretty split on the cooking.
You seem pretty passionate about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still love to cook. I'm probably losing a little bit of step, but
sure.
No, I mean, I love to cook. Me and my wife cook at home pretty much daily.
Sure.
We don't eat out too much. And my wife's a great home cook as well. So it's been cool. Our kids always, talking about which dish is better and stuff like that. They've been watching kids baking show or whatever. Yeah, right. So they'll critique it in a nice way, but it's pretty funny when they get after our food. So.
Talked about it. You obviously worked with your dad when you were younger, and you mentioned how important that was in your life. How much do your kids know about what dad does?
A lot. Yeah, they're pretty much involved. Like they're 7, 5, and 2, so they're still young. But my 7-year-old's helped us out of business cleaning.
That's awesome.
Put on gloves and take out trash a few times, and my son will help me clean up our equipment because we have to clean up our equipment every day. So
do you love it?
Yeah, they love it because I give them a little money for it.
Sure, of course. You obviously when we talk about wanting to be at home more, there's a lot of. It's kind of hard sometimes for business owners to put the phone down. Not necessarily focus on what's on Facebook. Focus on taking phone calls. You've taken a few phone calls right before we started taking this, talking this podcast. Tell people, hey, stop calling me. I'm busy. I'm doing something. How hard is that for you to do that?
I struggle with that. Me and my wife raise our kids without screens for the most part. We try our best to not have an iPad. I know, man. And I'm not shaming anybody that does, but we are definitely not a family that has an iPad at the table, dinner table, or in the car and stuff. And so I really tried my best to be off my phone when I'm at home with my kids. I know my wife, she's listening, she's like,
It's called BS.
But no, I do try. So I try to put my phone away, and I feel like I've gotten better at that over the last few months on that for sure.
I don't know you very well, but it sounds like you have a really good, strong relationship with your wife. What role does she play in the business, if at all?
She just support, really.
It's the most important one.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she helps me with decision making on stuff, but for the most part, it's
She lets you know when you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's what my wife does.
When I have a random question or what should we do about this? Should we buy a piece of equipment? We definitely talk about all of that. So she's heavily involved, just not on the day to day. She'll help me out with the cleaning here or there, but for the most part,
From a business standpoint, what's the biggest difference between cleaning a house and cleaning a business?
Cleaning a house, there's definitely more areas to touch. Cleaning a business, especially one that you do multiple times a week, you're more spot cleaning for the most part.
Sure.
With house cleaning, it's every surface.
More personalized, right?
Yes, definitely. Okay. Yep. And you build the relationship. Some businesses want it more clean. Some businesses want to pay less and get less of a clean. They just want the trash emptied.
Sure.
But
Weird? Is that weird to you?
That they just want the trash emptied. I mean, I'll walk by something that's dirty and I usually clean it. Like if there's something that we're not contracted to clean or we're not, if I see something that's like outrageous, I'm like,
can't really walk past it.
Yeah, I can't. If someone knows my business is cleaning this place and they see that, I'm like, that needs to be cleaned.
There's a rag there. Might as well. You don't got to throw dollar numbers out, but from a standpoint of what's better for business or homes?
I like to say that amount of work we do is about 70% residential, 30% commercial, but the amount of revenue, it's probably about 50-50.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
Man, I think both have pros and cons.
Sure.
It's really nice to just be at a huge carpet cleaning. Like for instance, we cleaned the Ashland Public Schools last summer. So it was like 90,000 square feet of carpet.
You were busy.
Yeah, so it was just that 1 week. That's all we were doing.
Good thing kids aren't messy.
Yeah, right. And it was brand new school, so that helped too. They're keeping up on it. But you just go there. That's just what you do for the day. So it's nice. But it is also nice cranking out 6 homes in a day and
home by noon, right?
Yeah.
As far as growth, we talked about growth a little bit. Do you want to grow the residential side or the business side more long term?
I'm fine with them being together because residential typically pays at time of cleaning, and commercial typically is either net 30 or pays down the road most times.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with the both of them together. I don't want to be a full. Some carpet cleaners just turn into just commercial, or some just do residential. I want to do both.
What's the biggest hurdle facing the industry right now?
I think it's always been this way. Is just there's a bunch of different ways to clean. So everybody talking about the best way to clean, and then Mrs. Jones or whatever, she doesn't know fully what she'll read on Reddit or Google or something. I'm like, we've been doing this for a long time. We've cleaned a lot of houses. So
she's also a doctor courtesy of WebMD as well.
Right, yeah, exactly. But I think that, and then man, pricing's just always difficult. You got to stay in your lane,
sure,
and not care too much about what somebody else is pricing.
Is that tough for you?
Not for me. I know it's tough for the industry. In all those, everybody is in Facebook groups for their industry, especially if you're an owner. There's a bunch of carpet cleaning ones, and every day, it's like, what are you charging per room? What are you doing for this? And then they're arguing, no, you need to be a higher end cleaner, lower end cleaner. Just stay in your own lane. Figure out what works for you.
What's the worst piece of advice you've been given as a business owner?
I don't know.
Sure. What's the best piece?
TJ from around the bend telling me not to open a restaurant.
Yeah? Yeah. Anybody that's listening to this, don't open a restaurant or a bar.
Do not open a restaurant.
It's not worth it. We're catching up with Curtis Norton from Leapatricks Carpet Cleaning here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractors studio. You're a business owner. You're in multiple Facebook groups about the business you own. You're a husband. You're a father. You're a chef on the side now for your family only. How do you balance all of that?
It just comes naturally to me. I think I don't know. I've always been pretty calm under pressure. If everybody that knows me knows I'm pretty laid back for the most part, and I think that's very helpful in keeping everything focused. And I, like I said, I opened this business so that I didn't work too much because I was working 60, 70 hours. I loved it. for 12 years, but dialing back.
Sometime the marathon's got to end, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, if you weren't doing carpet cleaning, if you weren't a chef, what would you be doing?
That's a hard question. Not at a computer. I really hate jobs.
Sure.
Just
is the best part about it being up and moving? And
yeah, I think so. Stationary? Yeah, it would have to be something moving. I can't sit down. I worked at, when I was playing junior hockey, I worked at Allstate for my coach who owned Allstate up in Montana, and I did that job for one hockey. And I really didn't even do that much, but I was like, I will never do a job like this. And more power to everybody that does that for a living, because I know it's very much needed nowadays.
When's the last time you put on a pair of skates, picked up a stick?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I go skating with my kids, but I haven't played hockey since I was 21.
Miss
probably.
it?
Yeah, definitely. I always say I'm going to get going in men's league, but I just look at the price of skates and sticks. I'm like, hey.
You get a whole new machine for that price.
Oh yeah, sticks are like $300 or $400, and man, it breaks still.
What did you learn in hockey that helped you in business?
I was a leader on a lot of the travel teams I was on. So just managing your team. I played defense.
Okay.
Yep. I was kind of a stay-at-home defense. I wasn't really a
going to
scorer.
make an educated guess, but I thought I'd let you answer.
Yeah, I liked to. I didn't get it. I wasn't a goon or nothing, but I did get in some fights, and that was always fun.
Requirement, right?
Yeah. Because I wasn't the tallest, biggest guy, so I kind of surprised a few people, and but that was a lot of fun.
That uppercut comes quicker from that.
Yeah. Hockey was a big part of my life from probably 4 or 5 years old until I was 20.
You guys are originally from Nebraska, right?
Yeah, we're from Omaha.
Yeah.
My parents.
Why was hockey the right outlet for you?
My dad has a quick little story. He took me and my brother skating for the first time. I think it was on Chalco Hills. I could get that wrong, Dad, but he tied up my skates and I jumped on. And he was tying up my brother's skates and I was gone. And my dad was like, "Stop!" I was like 4 or 5. He was like, don't
Those
do
don't
that.
have brakes.
Come back. So then I came back, and then we went to a skating class that day. And the Barb Foster, if anybody knows, one of my great customers too, but she's been a huge part of hockey and figure skating in this community forever. And
she opened 2 rings in Omaha, right?
Yeah. And so I went to her class when I was like, again, 4 or 5, and she's like, "How long have they been skating?" My dad's like, "I just opened the box and put the skates on them for the first time." And
duck to water.
So just since then, me and my brother just loved hockey.
Obviously, your children are very young, so this probably hasn't been too much of a discussion. You're a second generation owner in this business. You guys chopped around the idea of all about maybe this being available for them one day?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not going to push them all 3 into it, but I would assume that they'd work for me growing up like I did for my parents, and then if one of them wants to take it over.
We just need one of you. There's 3 of you.
I got 3
Find
shots.
it out amongst yourselves. When we talk about the ideal customer, what's the ideal customer for Leapatricks?
We get all kinds. Moving the car out of the driveway is nice. So we can
please.
Yeah. And then just, being able to be flexible with us and moving stuff out of the rooms that we're cleaning, tidying up. I know life gets busy, but walking into a house and it's still got toys everywhere and we're coming to carpet cleaning, it's like, but we're always happy to be there. We're always happy to help, though.
Sure.
And I know some carpet cleaning companies say we're not moving companies. We won't move a thing. I'm always fine with moving couches and stuff within reason. But just like any customer that goes to a restaurant, you don't want people sending food back and stuff like that. So you just want an easygoing customer. But
25-star reviews on Google. You can get a hold of Kurt and the team at 402-210-3304.
Yes, sir.
What's the best way to contact you, and what does that process look like?
Whatever's best for you. Call. I always like a call, but text, email, whatever's fine. Through Facebook Messenger. I book a lot of jobs through Facebook Messenger.
Hey man, I'm glad we were able to do this. We got
thank you very much.
Is there anything that we haven't mentioned about Leapatrick's carpet clean that we should know?
Just like any other carpet cleaner, you can't rely solely on carpet cleaning. Like, we do the house clean, but we also do tile and grout cleaning. We do strip and waxes on tile. We do a ton of upholstery cleaning. We don't typically turn.
Is there anything you don't do? I just want to make sure you guys don't get off the wrong thing.
I don't do too much window cleaning, and I don't do power washing. but I'll clean pretty much anything else in the house.
So cook your testicles, you won't do your windows, folks. There you go. That's Curtis Norton and the team at Leapatricks Carpet Clean. Make sure you get a hold of them. Again, that phone number is 402-210-3304. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. on the Spotlight Omaha podcast with a new business owner here in the Omaha area. We hope you can tune in. We'll see you then. Thanks for liking. Thanks for all the comments. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.
Thank you.